Green Lantern stars Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Mark Strong, and this film is directed by Martin Campbell. You're probably wondering why I'm reviewing a movie like this. Honestly, I don't really know. Maybe because, well, I haven't reviewed a movie I didn't like in a while, and I've been rewatching the excellent Green Lantern animated series. I remember picking this movie up from Blockbuster when I was like 8 or something, and actually enjoying it. I was 8. Don't judge me. But as I got older, I began to realize that this film kinda sucks. So this review will contain spoilers to Green Lantern. So if you've never seen this film and you want to avoid any and all spoilers, I would highly recommend skipping to this timestamp so you can receive my spoiler-free thoughts and my final grade on this film. Also, I will leave a timestamp in the description that you can skip to. Not to sound like a broken record, but this film kinda sucks. And everybody on planet Earth kinda knows that. Everybody who's everybody has bashed this movie. Even Ryan Reynolds.
And please don't make the super suit green or animated.
I mean, this film does have some redeemable qualities. I mean, Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan is fine. I mean, he's not amazing or anything, but honestly, he does a fine job. Mark Strong also does a pretty solid job as Sinestro. I mean, his character doesn't have that much depth, but I feel like that he gets the overall essence of the Sinestro character from the comics. Actually, the scenes on Oa aren't really that bad. They're probably the best part of this movie, if you ignore the crappy CGI, that is. Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking on deciding to have this movie take place on Earth. Honestly, if you read any Green Lantern comic or watch any episode of the animated series, you would have a pretty firm understanding that Green Lantern is a mostly cosmic character. I mean, it mostly is just about Hal and friends going on little adventures on various planets. And having this movie take place on Earth completely destroys that. Also, after watching Ryan Reynolds trash on this film in the Deadpool movies, it actually is a lot of fun revisiting, just for that reason alone. And unfortunately, that's all the good things I have to say about this movie. As soon as I turned this movie on, I immediately noticed the really dated CGI. I mean, yeah, this movie came out about 10 years ago, actually. But I mean, Avatar came out 3 years earlier, and that film still looks great. So, honestly, there's no excuses here. I mean, if I really want to stretch more, hell, Terminator 2 came out like 20 years before this movie, and that film absolutely, completely destroys this film. The characters in this film don't even feel like characters. They feel like cardboard cutouts that the plot decides to move forward. Hal Jordan is a character that makes decisions because the plot needs him to. Speaking of Hector Hammond, he might be one of the worst comic book movie villains of all time. I mean, his character is just boring and cliche. There's nothing original or interesting about him. He spends much of this movie just screaming at the top of his lungs for no good reason, and he dies like a little punk. Also, this film commits one of the worst sins a comic book movie could commit. That is, making the big evil villain at the end be a big evil space cloud for some reason. You can't get more one-dimensional than a big evil space cloud. Honestly, the worst thing about this movie is that it's really boring. The fact that it takes place on Earth kills its chance of being interesting. There are so many directions you can take a Green Lantern movie, and they decided to take the most boring direction humanly possible, and because of that, Green Lantern gets a C-. Honestly, I hope that one day we can get a good Green Lantern movie. I mean, we got a really solid Ant-Man movie and a pretty decent Aquaman movie. Making a good Green Lantern movie honestly isn't that much more difficult. I'm pretty optimistic for the HBO Max series that is supposed to come out actually pretty soon. And ring the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And shout out to Groundskeeper Willie and Emma Stone. Thanks for watching.